The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Hi, I'm your host, Karen Miranda. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side. We are coming to you live from ECAT TV in Eastern Massachusetts. The phones are now open. I know it's been a while, but feel free to call. In the meantime, I have a couple of things I would like to share with everybody at home. And to sit back and relax. And, if you had your supper, good, then you just relax and enjoy the show. I wanted to talk about messages. One time I can remember when I was in the hospital a while ago, I was, when Michelle was little, I've been in remission for 25 years this year in June. And when I was in the hospital, I was getting a message from my uncle who had passed away. And he said, call your aunt. And I prayed to the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I said, this does not make any sense. So I said, okay, when I get out of the hospital, I will do that. And a couple of days went by, and my uncle came back at night when I was sleeping. And I heard Karen clear as a day out of my head. So I said, all right, I'll call my aunt up, who has now passed away. And I called her the next day, and I said, did Uncle Larry ever say, pray to the Sacred Heart of Jesus? He said, oh my goodness, Karen, yes, he has said that to me all the time, and nobody knew that. So I thanked her for that, and I thanked Uncle Larry for that special piece of evidence, because that was their faith and their belief. And a couple of years later, with Easter coming and Passover, it was Easter Sunday, and I got another message. Get some lilies for your aunt. And I used to give her lilies for Easter. So I said, okay, I will do that. And I said to my ex-husband, now late ex-husband, can we stop at the florist on the way up to Norwood? And he said, okay. And he knew I was close to my aunt. And so I said, I got to go in and get some Easter lilies. And they had the last bunch there. I purchased them, got in the car, and I went to my aunt's house. And I said, Auntie Anna, happy Easter. I'm supposed to give these to you. I got a message from Uncle Larry again. She goes, oh my goodness, Karen, you had no way of knowing that. That was my favorite flower at Easter time. And I thanked her for sharing. Of course, Easter being Easter, you have your stuff to do. So I thanked her very much for that, for sharing that for a piece of information, because people will come back from the other side to deliver messages. And the one amazing thing is they have no time frame over on the other side. Time is irrelevant with them. So if they're going to come back, it might not be right away. It just depends on how their energy was when they were here on the earthplane, or if they do look down from heaven and on the other side. And I wanted to say, yes, they do. They see everything you do, and just not the shower, but that's okay. To see your aura energy, which is, I know I've told you guys before at home what they do with me. And it was something else, because bus rides have been interesting lately. I was on the bus a couple of weeks ago, and you know how I always say about birthdays and celebrations and everything like that. And somebody started coming through on the bus, and I said, oh, I know who you're for. So I texted my person that I was giving the message to, and I said, so-and-so is coming through. I'm supposed to wish you a happy birthday. And she said, oh my God. And it was her birthday that day. I knew that it was around the 14th, but didn't know it was on Valentine's Day. And it was a simple message. Wish my friend a happy birthday, because those were special to them when she was alive. But might be the littlest, frugalest thing to you guys at home, but the person getting the reading, it's the biggest validation to them. So, I'm the messenger, and that's what I asked for, that extra piece of evidence. And then a couple of weeks later, I was on the bus, and somebody was open to, he knows what I do. And he said, I'm into that. And he asked me about dream state with visits from people that have passed away. He said, I know when people are going to pass away. Those are real, okay? Because he shared his story, which is his private information and stuff like that. So I said, okay, so something just happened recently with me where the dream state, my sister comes in my dreams once in a while to let me know that something's going to happen to somebody, that nothing bad that's going to happen with somebody, or when somebody's going to pass away. So I said to her, okay, and I was feeling, my chest a little bit with chest pain, and I'm like, okay, something's going to happen to somebody, but I just didn't know who, but getting the premonition part of it. And so I just, put it aside, and it was really interesting because it kept coming in repetition. Because when spirits come around, repetition, especially in dreams, they are trying to give you a message of what they're wanting to say to you. For you to, sometimes you have to be the medium too. And I said, all right. And I haven't seen this person in a good while. And then all of a sudden, I got a phone call. So-and-so's really sick. And I said, oh, and just to let you know, I'll keep you informed and everything like that. And I said, okay, thank you for letting me know. And so a couple of days went by, and my sister, I was very close to my late sister. She's been over on the other side for years, and came back again. And I knew it. When she came in, I said to my daughter, Michelle, hi, somebody just passed away, and I didn't know who it was. And sure enough, the phone rang, and I was told so-and-so passed away. And so that's when I had to learn to really trust what I was seeing and hearing and feeling. But it's just amazing because, time is irrelevant on the other side, and they will come back with messages and sometimes give you more information. But if you have a dream of somebody and it keeps coming in repetition, do pay attention, because they are trying to get a message across to you to let you know. And I thanked my sister for letting me know that the person had passed away. And one other time I was in a sound sleep, and I felt my bed shake with the feeling part of the gifts. And I'm like sitting there going, okay. And I woke up, it was like 2 a.m, spirit time. So I went to look up, there was nobody there. And sure enough, spirit was letting me know somebody was in the hospital. And I said, all right. And I thanked them again. Spirits are looking down from us on the other side to deliver messages. The other thing I want to tell you guys, and some people have asked me, do we get to see our loved ones when we pass away and cross over to the other side in heaven? I said, oh, most certainly. And do we get to see what they looked like? And I said, it's different for everybody, but energies will recognize each other. Like if somebody, it just depends on how it's presented, but it's a loving, kind, caring energy. If they do show themselves, you recognize the person that went on before you and stuff like that. So that's really nice to know. And it was actually wonderful because, they can be very comforting. And sometimes it's like, I learned not to question it. I had to accept everything. So I said, all right. And they learn and grow on the other side. Do learn life lessons and things like that. And, it's wonderful because, it's nice to know when you pass away, you're not alone. You are totally not alone when you get ready to cross over. Because I had one time, I did a reading for somebody, and their family member was getting ready to pass away. And She said, my mom was looking up in the sky and seeing somebody. I said, did you feel like you were alone in the room? She said, yes. And I said to her, that's because she was getting ready to cross over. And she did cross over to the other side, like, a little bit after that. I said, do pay attention because you never know. Signs and signals, and, there's no time frame, like I said. The other thing I would like to share with you is it happened a long time ago. People ask me what it's like on the other side. And I always say, I don't want to experience it, see anything like that until it's my time to go. But sure enough, it just caught my attention. I was actually in church. It was down in Plymouth, Massachusetts, St. Peter's. And everybody was kneeling down, and the priest was going on with his lecture and stuff like that, and people were praying. And the church was packed that day. And all of a sudden, I looked over to the window, and this beam of white light, I'm sharing this with you because Easter and Passover are not that far away, a white light came right through the window. And what was strange about that is when the white light came through, everything in this church stood still. Except for me, I was moving. It just felt like everything froze for a second. And I just said, all right, thank you for sharing that with me. And it's beautiful over on the other side. But when it's our time to go and cross over, and I just, thanked them and for showing me. Words can't even describe the colors on the other side or anything like that. So just to let you know, to trust. And it was wonderful because then I shared, of course, with a good priest friend that I knew. He said to me, don't question it, just accept your gifts. And I said, all right, I will, Father. So I thanked God, and stuff like that for sharing that experience with me. And now the white light became a very special meaning to me because whenever I do mediumship or things like that, I do say prayers. And I pray for everybody, like after I do spirit readings, and I ask for protection just because, there's good and bad and everything. And I've been very lucky with my gifts with mediumship and have been able to share with the healing of foreclosure and whatever you're looking for in your reading. But it's nice to know that your loved ones will come back and they will share that extra special piece with you. And that's totally wonderful. And I thanked my sister and my uncle for sharing that with me. Another time, I was having an MRI done. And some of you guys know how loud MRIs can be. And all of a sudden, I heard somehow I learned to accept my gifts, not to question them or anything like that. And it came in very loud and clear. Stick with me, kid. And I said, okay, Uncle Charlie. And I knew it was my uncle that I was very, very close to. And so after the MRI testing was over, I went home and I looked at my mother, my late mother, and said to her, did you know anybody in the family that used to say, stick with me, kid? She said, yes, I did. But you had no way of knowing that because that happened way before you were born. And I said, oh, all right. And it was your Uncle Charlie. We used to walk up to the Downs in Quincy, and he used to say, stick with me, kid. And I thanked her. And of course, right away, Mom being Mom, my late mother, she said, who have you been talking to in the family? And I said, nobody. But for some reason, Uncle Charlie came by and gave me the message and wanted you to hear it. So I thanked him for that, for giving me that special piece of evidence. The other thing is prayers. Prayers are very important because it does help you learn and grow on the other side. And that's totally wonderful, just so that you guys know that. And the lines are now open, so feel free to call. In the meantime, I'm going to get going with the sketch. And those are just a couple little stories I want to share with you. And visits are so real, but message work, they will come back and, to deliver more messages because they do have a lot to say over there. And we do catch up with our families and friends when we pass away. When it is my turn to pass away, I said, you know what? I want to catch up with a good couple of my girlfriends that passed away when I was younger. And, I said to my family, I'm not going to bother haunting you guys. And so they said, that's okay with us. And I said, good, because I have a couple of buddies I want to, check in on. But those are just some experiences that I wanted to share and talk to you about. And I'm going to get going. Sometimes you'll see my hand going wicked fast. It's just because I have to get it to slow down. Because that's just the energy working with me when I do stuff. With the paper. But I just thought it was totally amazing. And like I said before, you don't have to be there. You can't be there if the person's getting ready to cross over. With me, I was just where I was open, like everybody is at their level with the gifts. They will find a way to let you know that somebody is going to cross over to the other side. And one time when I was on the bus, just recently actually, I had asked the bus driver, I got sharing different things, and I can't say because it's his personal business. Karen, can they come in your dreams? I said, yes. And do you know when people are going to pass away? I said, yes, because he said, that happens to me all the time. I know when someone's going to pass away. And I thought that was just like totally amazing. And it's nice, and I want to thank him for sharing that with me too, because it's really awesome, And I never know what spirit's going to have me share with you guys when I come on. So if I'm all over the place, like I said in another show, Karen always finds her way back. And there was another time when I went to Oregon in 2017, and I went on a ghost hunting tour with my buddy Andrew, and we went to I forget, Portland on a dead of night ghost tours. And we met in this dark tunnel with the tour guide. And he said, does anybody hear or feel or see anything? And I said, I raised my hand. And I said, I do. And he said, okay, the men drowned in the tunnel. And he just looked at me. And because I was feeling what was going on. And he said, okay. So he wouldn't answer right away. So I was just say, all right. So as the tour continued, he would ask again, does anybody see, hear, or feel anything? So I was just like me, didn't want to raise my hand, of course. So I gave other people a chance to speak. And he said, okay, men died in here. Men passed away. And so, of course, he said, okay. And he had to stick to the script, and I get that. They have to stick to the script. And I didn't realize that at that time, because spirit sometimes will get really pushy with me. And I'm like, you got to back off and stuff like that. So when he said to me, again, at the end of the tour, it was the end of the tour, does anybody have anybody, around? And I'm like sitting there going, I raised my hand and I gave people a chance to speak, like I said. I said, I do. And he looked at me. He said, okay, what is it? People drowned in here. He said, not only did 4 men die in here, but also there were people that drowned inside the tunnel. And I thanked him for that biggest piece of validation, because sometimes with me, that's why I wear my key, like I've said to you guys before, that people, they will nag me, and I'll say, now's not the time to do message work, because sometimes there's a time to do it and not to do it. But they kept nagging me during that whole tour. And what was amazing is when he shared that with me, I said to my friend afterwards, how come he wouldn't let me know at the beginning so I could just say, okay, and just let it go. And that's again when she said, he has to stick to the script. And that was the clairsentience part of my gifts, because I'm a clairsentience medium. And I found that tours can be very interesting when I go on them, because you never know what's going to come through. And there was another time I went up to Salem with my friend and his wife, and they came by the house and got me. And so I was really excited, because you guys know, if you're familiar with Salem, how high impact the energy is there. And I said, okay. And when they came and got me, I said, I'm so excited about going up, because I never went on a tour there. I was there like a long time ago to visit, but we got there. I said, I was talking to them on the way over up to Salem, and I said to them, there was a little boy that got hung when he lived in Salem. And they said, oh, okay, she's having one of her moments. And I just chuckled along with them. And they said, okay, Karen. And we just left it at that. And we went to have a bite to eat. And I said something again to them. I said, look, during the tour, this is going to happen. And I don't like to ruin any of the fun for people either, because those are fun things that I like to do. Because it's, spirit communication can be very serious. And it's your guys' feelings that, are coming through when I do a reading for somebody. And so the tour got started, and during the tour, when we got halfway through the tour guide stopped at this one particular spot. And I had a sketch of a boy that I did, but never got to give it to him. And he said, I got something to tell you. A little boy got killed here. And my friends just looked at me, and they said, I don't believe it. And I just looked at them, and I said, this is when I just got to let it go, but trust my gut of what I'm getting. But I thanked again for the piece of special validation with that, because you never know what spirit's going to come out with. And I know when I do spirit communication, I've had to learn to really trust spirit with what I'm getting and stuff like that. And these are your feelings, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just had to trust. This is how I got so far. She's an older woman, but she liked to wear her hair up in those old-fashioned body things. That's why I can't draw those very good, but I had to give it, and I will continue with the sketch. But you never know what's going to come through in a reading and things like that. So that's why I was like, oh my God. And then I go back to what the good father said to me about trusting. And I thought that was totally amazing. And being brought up Catholic, Roman Catholic, you just didn't talk about such things. But I'm so glad it's so much more accepted now, whereas years ago, old school stuff was not accepted, as some of you older folks know. And her hair, like all of us, it thinned out as she aged. Her face got droopy. And if you ever have a chance to go on a ghost tour, they are a lot of fun. And it's fun to go on a good adventure. And she has a necklace on, I'll show you guys in a minute, with the cross that she liked to wear. And I hope everybody is staying warm this winter, even though the calendar says about being spring. It still doesn't really kick in, I believe, until the end of April. And if you have any questions, feel free to call the station. We could have a mediumship discussion or something like that. And if you ever want to come on as a guest, feel free to call too. She had a big, long nose. Very thin, though. And one of those bowls on the side of her face. And some people say, like one time I remember getting a phone call. I don't want to hear from my grandparents or anything like that. But, I got thinking about the show afterwards. I said, but, people do want to hear from their grandparents, but you just got to remember, just because you don't want to hear from them, somebody else might want to hear from them. But it's your free will and stuff like that. Because I did a reading a while ago for somebody, and that grandparents came through, especially her grandmother. She was so thrilled to hear from her grandmother. Here we go. Very kind soul. She liked to wear the dresses, and she liked to wear, those old fashioned apron thingies that they used to wear back in the day. I'm putting that on her because when she did her housekeeping, very, very kind. A little bit of strictness to her, but not overly strict. And what's amazing too, like with my sister letting me know what's going on from the other side, when you don't hear from somebody for a while from the spirit world, because I never really usually hear from my family, but it's messages for other people, that it amazes me because she just lets me know, not in a bad way, but a good way, that something's going to happen. She had like male features, even though she was a female. And she's keeping everybody in line over there like she did when she was here. She's saying to say that. And she's also saying to me, my arthritis is all better and my hands are not stiff anymore. And I had to give that out to you guys too. And when somebody's getting ready to pass away, do pay attention to see. And you feel like you're not alone in the room, chances are you're not. They're just getting ready to bring somebody home. And there she is. I forgot to give her eyebrows. Hold on. And she's let me know she had cataracts too. Not very good at eyelashes, so. And she's singing up a storm on the other side. And she didn't have the greatest voice, but she said to me, well, God gave me my voice. I'm giving it right back to him. That's her message. Oh, lipstick. And clip-on earrings. Because that's what they wore back in the day. And there was so many times when I just wanted to just not bother with the spirit world. And when I just decided to put it on the back burner for a while, but then a couple of years ago when something happened to me, people just started coming in, and I said, okay, and I know it's not about me, it's about foreclosure, healing, and whatever you're looking for in your reading. And it's their memories they share with me, with their experiences. And like I said, they will come in dreams and things like that too. Just to let you guys know that. And people sometimes ask me, like, is it okay to, even grieve and be sad? I said, oh, most definitely, because grieving is a part of healing.
They call me, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. No, just hold on. What's your first name? Kelly? Okay. Hold on one. Kelly Joe? Okay. Hold on 1 second. So we got somebody on the phone.
Okay, I have a phone call?
Yep.
Okay. Hi, caller. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side.
Oh, wait a second.
With Kelly Joe.
Good, how are you? Can you turn up a little more? Okay.
For me?
Yes, can you hear me? Are you there?
Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly Joe.
Good, how are you doing?
I can hear you on the laptop, but not on the phone.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Am I supposed to hear you
Hello?
on the phone or only
Yes.
on the laptop?
I can hear you. May I have your name?
Be on
Okay.
the lap.
Hi, my name is Kelly Joe.
What is it?
It's Kelly Joe.
Kelly Joe. Hi, Kelly Joe. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. I'm going to stop watching the screen. I'm going to turn off the volume on the screen on my laptop because I
Yeah.
can't.
Your laptop's
Now,
going to be
now
in
I'll try it. Now I'll try it just on the phone.
That used to happen with the echo and stuff too, Kelly Joe.
This is not. It's not a good connection.
That's okay. No, I understand. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you, yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Have you ever been to a medium before, Kelly Joe?
I'm sorry?
You had to talk louder.
Okay, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And not me personally, but in a group.
Okay, with the group?
At February.
Yeah. Okay, do you need me to explain how I work as a medium, or would you like me just to get going with your reading?
If you have anything that you have to tell, go ahead and just talk if you have anything.
What I have to.
Yeah, if you have anything, go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a male that's around you that's coming in. He's coming in very tall, and he was very sick poor. He passed away, broader than his shoulders, slender, but puts like everybody does when they age, put a little bit of weight on. I'm feeling a fatherly figure with him. Is this making sense?
Can I actually, hold on a second. She sounds like she's in a distance, and it's like she sounds like she's way in the background. I can't hear her just on this, on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Hold on a second.
Okay. It's just you sound like you're like way in like at the back of the room.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Okay, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I have a father figure that's around you. Did your father pass away?
Yes, he did.
And I'm feeling, like I said, everybody, I'm only 4'10", but I'm feeling tallness to him.
Well, see, if you're talking about tall compared to you, then yes, but he wasn't tall compared to me.
Huh?
He wasn't.
I'm sorry. The thing is, the audio was good, but yeah, because I'm feeling an average height with the man that's on the other side for you.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. This connection is really
Huh?
bad, and I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
I even turned down my
Well,
laptop.
I'm feeling somebody served in the services. It was in the service. That's all the other side.
I didn't understand what you said. Would it help if I tried to call back, or is this always how the sound quality is?
Yeah. Because it's still not.
Because basically, like I said, I'm calling her, and she sounds like she's way in the distance, and she's not in my ear on the phone.
Okay.
So is this how it always is, or?
Yeah. The audio still isn't very good.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time understanding you, so maybe
Okay.
maybe.
What about now? Can you understand me now? Clearer?
Yeah. I
Okay.
can't hear it. I'm just going to hang up then. I'm so sorry, but
That's
I
okay.
thank you so much for trying, and
But
I did want to hear something, but this isn't working.
Before you hang up, I just want to tell you, your dad's all around you from the other side, looking down from the other side, and he's not sick anymore and in pain.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. I appreciate you trying.
Okay. No,
Have a great
thank
evening.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
So sometimes that'll happen too during a reading. I can remember one time, thank you, Kelly Jo, because it reminded me of a friend of mine that was a medium like I was, and we got talking. It's kind of funny, actually, because we both like to gab and everything. We both like to gab and everything like that. And what happened is all of a sudden, she hung up on me. And I'm saying, okay, so what's up with this? She called me back and she said, did you feel that? And I hear that? And I go, yeah. How rude, I said to her on the phone, because she said, but it wasn't me. So then we both got chuckling, because the other side will play with the phone and audio with that. And because we'd be on the phone for hours, actually, sometimes. And so that'll happen too. Sometimes the audio will come in very clear and stuff like that, because that's just Spirit's way of letting you come through. And I'm feeling an average height with your dad, with him too, by the way, if you're still watching the show. And his breathing issues all cleared up, because I'm feeling fluid with whatever he had for an illness, helped contribute to his passing over. But he's with his dad on the other side, just to let you know that and stuff. And there's military big time in your family, by the way. I just had to let you know that too. And, just to continue with your reading a little bit. And I'm also feeling a younger male that's around you too. Just let you know that. But Dad's all around you in a big, big way, sending eternal love, and especially with the holidays coming up and things like that. And a little colorful with the words, a heavy smoker. And I just want to give you that too. But that's okay. It happens. And just to give you that too. And he said to say to you, I'm looking down and I see everything that you're doing and stuff like that. And he was hoping to hear from him tonight. And then his dad is over there too, but they're together over there. And somebody is saluting. Somebody has the flag, the American flag. I'm seeing a flag, and when I see it, like the American flag, somebody still has that in the family. But just even though you're not on the phone with me anymore, I just want to extend the eternal love to you from the other side. And I'll get going with another sketch too. And like I said, that'll happen, because it was funny. One time I can remember, speaking of electricity, and Kelly Jo gave me a good thing to talk about, when it was Christmas time, and it was, it wasn't really even stormy outside. And all of a sudden, it was in the morning and stuff like that, before the kids got up out of bed. The whole house shut down with the lights. The lights went off, the music went off, everything. And I'm like, okay. And I looked at my daughter and I said, I don't know what's going on. She said, "Oh, I think I know what's going on." So I looked up to the heavens and said, "I want to wish everybody a happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the other side." And with that, and Hanukkah, and with that, the lights all went back on, and my daughter and I just looked at each other. And if you see stuff with like the electricity of the phone, that will happen. And that's the spirit's way of letting you know that they are around trying to communicate with the message to really hear to the living. And I have to, it's amazing sometimes. And like I was saying before Kelly Jo called, I totally shut down from everything with the whole mediumship stuff. And I said, I'm throwing in the towel. And somebody looked at me, and I was watching a show with another medium that was doing a show with famous medium. He said, I'm throwing in the towel with this. So many times I wanted to walk away from this stuff. And my daughter peeked in the window around the corner into the bedroom and said, who does he remind me of, Ma? And I said, I know. But it's funny because, you really just want to walk away from it. But they always find a way to pull me back in.
They call me Cat.
Huh?
Okay, hold on 1 second. I will put you through.
Hi, Carly. You're on here. Welcome to Whispers from the Other Side.
Hi, Karen. This is Kelly Jo. I'm trying again because they said they fixed the issues.
Okay, yeah. So you actually gave me something good to talk about, Kelly Jo, because a long time ago, just ran around really beefy spirit will play with audio and electric phone stuff. So just to fill you in on that. So thank you very much for sharing that too. But I'm going to get going with your reading if that's okay.
That's okay. Now, you just so you know, you still do sound like you're in the. You sound very soft.
Okay,
but
I gotta slow myself down because sometimes.
Move the mic closer.
Okay. How's that?
That's better.
Okay, that's good. I'm not used to the microphone being in front of me, so thank you. And yeah, I do feel a male that's around you from spirit, and is your grandfather on the other side?
He is.
And is your dad over there in spirit too?
He is.
They're together over on the other side. Your dad's was average height, like I told you earlier, I'm going up with my height, but not really tall. If that's making sense. I don't know if it's your dad or your grandfather. I'm trying to get them to, sort themselves out because it's coming in like this. Because sometimes they'll try to outspeak each other, but they were like that in life. One would try to get the last word in, if that's making sense to you.
Dad is a little bit taller than Grandpa.
Okay, so that's good to know. Because it's like this with the heights, that's why it was coming in like that. So I'm glad. And they are trying to outspeak each other. And somebody did serve in the service.
Both.
Is that...
And both. And I did hear your comment earlier.
Okay.
And I was cleaning my house yesterday, and I have Grandpa's flag.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that. They gave the validation right away. I love when they do that. Thank you for sharing that with me. And they're happy about that. Because it got a little controversial with that. Sometimes they'll get personal with me, too. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm talking about with that?
Yes.
Yeah, and they are so happy you have that. And, Dad is saying, I just couldn't fight it anymore because of the body I was in, but swearing like a trooper. Being very colorful with the words, if that makes sense to you.
Dad's colorful with his words, but
yeah, because he wanted me to say that, but he's coherent now because he's coming in like this because this is how it was when he passed away. He didn't communicate very good with you guys.
That's true.
And he's saying to say that, but I'm all better now. And he's with his mother over there on the other side, too.
And she's not coming forward?
She's coming through a little bit, but she's letting the men speak because that's how it was in that day. The men did all the talking, if you know what I mean. So that's why it's coming in like that. And they're actually partying, too. They wanted me to tell you that, too.
I'm sorry. They wanted to say what?
They're having fun, like going out for a night on the town.
Oh, cool.
Which is good. So that would make a lot of sense to you. And I see, I'm going to give it to you. I see Dad tinkering around in the yard.
Tinkering is the proper word.
Okay, you would know where I'm going with that because whatever comes out of my mouth, I'm just going right through with it. So glad you can understand that. He's just so happy that he's not in his physical body anymore. And there's also a little one over there. Somebody lost a baby at a miscarriage.
That I don't know.
That you're going to have to investigate because old school didn't talk about things all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just have to give that to you because they'll follow me home. But your grandfather's a hot ticket, though. He really is fun. He's a funny, funny man. And he's just, saying, I'm all around them because you were hoping to hear from Dad tonight.
Oh, yeah, I was hoping to hear from my dad, yes.
And he's saying that, but see, he's looking down knowing that, so that's why it's coming in. I don't know if you know the woman in the drawing or not, but I'm putting her up to see if you recognize her or not. If not, that's okay. But it's artist interpretation with spirit drawings I do. I don't know if you can see her.
I saw you drawing that earlier before I called in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was from a call that you were on before me.
No, I wasn't on the call before you. I was just, if you watch the show at the beginning, you'll just see me sketching her out. And I say, if anybody recognizes her at home, feel free to call the station.
Oh my God. I gotta get a picture of this. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm having an issue. 1 second. Okay, Karen?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something on her cheek or is that my screen?
That's a little mole or something like that because she had...
That looks like my grandmother.
Oh,
that looks like my father's mother.
And
the person I was named after.
And I'm going to give this to you as a gift from me, okay? Because you're sharing your loved ones with me. And like I said at the beginning, I don't know who it's from, but if anybody can recognize her. She said, but I had a mole. She was and she was a little strict, but she said she had to be because everybody else was so carefree. You know where I'm going with that, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
go ahead, because I'm looking at this photo, and I saw you drawing it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you asked me if I recognized her, I'm like, oh my God. I literally just thought that was for somebody else. But that looks like my grandmother.
Oh, thank you. And like I said, I have her here at the station, and I'm going to give it to you as a gift.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Because she's with them, but she said they thought they were the breadwinners in the family, but I really was the one that kept everybody in line, if that's making sense to you.
She is.
Yes, because that's how she's coming. These are their memories they share with me, okay? Just to let you know that. And she said, like everybody when they age, I'm just so glad I can breathe a lot easier. And I'm not going like this with, those old-fashioned baking thingies that are like a rolling pin?
Yes.
And she's going like this and keeping the men in line.
Oh, my God.
And she's saying to me, she said, I'm just so glad because it was hard for her to walk just before she passed away and find out if she had the miscarriage. And she's also telling me to tell you she's not praying for everybody anymore.
she's not praying for anybody anymore?
You got to find out about that. You might have to do some investigating, okay? There's a way you can bring it up in conversation where the person doesn't have to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and she's saying just the breathing issues. I'm just so happy I'm out in the garden again and being out connecting with nature.
Okay.
If that makes sense. When she was younger, she liked to be outside.
That would
There's somebody
honestly
around
when
you.
she was younger. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there's somebody around you though. I'm feeling a younger woman that did pass away from cancer that is outside in the garden with their flip flops off, and they're just like being relaxed. And she had lighter hair, like almost like a blondish hair, but as she aged, it got older and very carefree. If you don't understand that, but your grandmother and your grandfather and your dad are all around you in a big, big way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And they're just extending that eternal love. Dad had to be the way he was because it's just how he was brought up, if that makes sense to you.
That does make sense to me.
Yeah, because he's saying that because my dad was like this with me. But he did care about the family, too. There was a wild side to me. And I just want to let you know that. The family knows that. But he's saying, I've had to learn my lessons. And I'm feeling there's somebody around you, too, with them that passed away younger. A younger male that's over there on the other side. Who passed away like in their 30s. I'm not sure if that's making sense to you or if it's an uncle or something like that.
That is not making sense to me.
Okay, so I'm going to stick with your family. And I'll ask anybody at home if anybody understands a male that passed away in their 30s due to being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Feel free to call me next month when I come on. I would appreciate it. But yeah, your dad's saying she misses that eternal hug.
Okay. Thank you, Karen.
If that's making sense to you.
Mm.
But he wants you to celebrate life because life itself is too short. Not to look back at the past, but to move forward. If you can understand that, that's your message from your dad.
Thank you.
Yeah, just to let it all go. Just be done, and go on with your life. And that he is looking down from heaven, and so isn't your grandfather and your grandmother. But your grandmother's happy because she doesn't have to go baking.
Because she doesn't have to what?
Go cooking and baking with the holidays coming up. If that makes sense. She said, I burnt a couple of things too I don't know cooking because I got so stressed out. You know what I'm saying with the family gatherings, but that would make a lot of sense.
That's funny.
And she's quite the hot ticket though. And she said, like you said, and I'm repeating, I know, but I was the breadwinner in the family. I'm going, okay.
She was the ruler.
Yeah.
She held the family together.
Oh yeah, she did, and she said it wasn't easy to keep the family together with everybody. You know what I'm saying, Kelly Jo? And that's why. Oh, and she's out dancing because she used to dance when she was younger. If you don't understand that, if your mom's still here, you can ask your mom.
That was.
It does.
Well, that was my father's mother. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a possibility she did, but I haven't. She's been gone for quite a while
and
now.
I understand, and I gotta give this to you anyways. If you don't understand it, I gotta give it because I see them playing like, those old games like card games that they used to play back then. Because they're all sitting around the table with the wine. And they have the cards going on, a little bit of something on the side. So your family's a wealth of information, by the way. And but the one thing that's saying to me, it's your dad. I don't have to worry about getting caught if I cheat.
Oh, God.
If that makes sense.
No, I honestly my family was a big card playing family.
Don't give me any information. I don't have the graphic up yet. But yeah, don't give me any information. And they're giving that to me. And they said, there was a side to us. But at least with us is we didn't cover up. What you see is what you got. And that would make a lot of sense too.
Yes.
And I'm so glad it does. And like I tell my callers and my people that come to me, these are their memories they're sharing with me because I'm a clairsentient medium. Okay, so they'll share what they did with me with their lives. And like I said, and somebody's smoking a cigar. Huh? Grandpa's just saying, hi, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I don't know that. I don't know what he's talking about that.
I know, but I have to give that to you because it's going to make sense with somebody on the other side who's celebrating their birthday.
Okay. All right.
And the message to you is let it go. You know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Let it go. And and Dad's being very colorful with the words. I can't say it on the air. But he's saying that you'll know what I'm talking about, blah, 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 blank. You know, you know what I'm saying. And I can't say it on the air. But because he's being very colorful. He can't stop smiling. He's just so glad. And he's saying to say thank you to somebody. Wasn't always the greatest, but I did the best I could do.
Yeah.
If you could understand that.
Yes.
And your grandmother's happy to be back out of the ocean.
Okay.
And I just have to extend that eternal love to you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you very much, Kelly Jo. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Do you have any questions?
That picture?
Yes.
You said that's for me?
It's for you. Because I know when it's for somebody because I had something happen with the picture a while ago and they said, I couldn't believe because they passed away years ago. And now they just came through on the drawing.
So, if you see Sue,
yeah,
can you give it to Sue?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
All righty.
Karen, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for sharing. It's not about me. I'm just the person in between the veils.
And but thanks for passing it on.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, everybody.
Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Our loved ones are gone but not forgotten, and just a thought away. And with the holiday season coming up, do not drink and drive. If you have one too many, give your keys to a friend before you hurt somebody else or yourself in the process. And just to let you know, suicide, this is another holiday where suicide gets big. There is help out there that you can get. So just to let you know, there's a lot of good programs and whatever. And remember to be kind to each other. And appreciate each other while you're still here on the airplane.